Hi, everybody. My name's Tim Johnson, and this is my friend Laura Blackaby. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Tim. How are you today?
Good. I'm glad to have you stepping in and helping out here.
Yeah, so glad to be here on what looks like the almost arrival of autumn.
I love
Yeah,
autumn. I love spring. I love summer. Not so much the winter time. I'll
yeah,
take it
well, we're
through
not there
December,
yet,
and
right?
then the rest can go away. Today we have a great story with Ashley Green. Why don't you join us? Hi, Stacy.
Hey, Tim. In Their Neighborhood is a show where we bring in people to elaborate on what exactly it is that they do in the community so that we can recruit more volunteers for them, educate about the nonprofits that we have, and really we want to connect volunteers with their volunteering vision.
We have amazing organizations in Peoria that rock and make Peoria rock.
That's right. Peoria is an awesome place, and if we just take the time to give back, then it's going to be that much better.
Our goal is to help people that kind of want to volunteer but maybe are a little afraid of volunteering, and give them the opportunity to volunteer in an easy way and get to know the organizations before they even get involved.
Being a volunteer hero. There you go.
We're looking for volunteer heroes. So we have one statement that the difference between a hero and a victim is that a hero is somebody that's thinking of others, and a victim generally thinks of themselves, and that's what the intro is about. And so today we're talking with Ashley Green. Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
So what's your organization?
Well, we have two. Your Excuse is Invalid Motivational Speaking, which is just my platform to go around to schools, businesses, churches, any groups, sports, all that kind of thing, and just tell my story and try to motivate others through what's happened to me, my life's journey, the things I've learned probably earlier in life than what some would have. And then also Your Excuse is Invalid NFP, which is my charity, which provides equipment, training, sports camps, Breeze Sunshine boxes, all these different things to those in need with physical disabilities in the area.
Wow. So tell us a little bit of your story.
So I was 17 when I got originally injured in a car accident, which seemed pretty minor, but turned into be a pretty big piece of my life. Ended up having to have multiple surgeries, about 9 before I finally got close to the point of amputation, because of just things not going the way were expected, wasn't healing the way I was supposed to, all these different things. And so it ended up becoming an amputation, which was about my 14th, 15th surgery. And then recently even had a spinal tumor removed in the last 6 months, which temporarily paralyzed both my legs. So just different obstacles, being faced in that time. And I played volleyball in high school, was supposed to probably play in college, never thought that was really going to be a possibility again. But things just kind of work out in ways that you don't really expect, and what can sometimes feel like the end of your story is actually just the beginning of another, different chapter in the book, sometimes I like to say. So I now play Team USA A2 Paralympic volleyball, and go to school for physical therapy and all these different things, and then now also run a charity in this area, which we hope will serve many more people. So kind of help show that your disability doesn't define you, it's just you're differently abled. So.
Wow. So rewind a little bit. You're pretty active, right?
Yes.
In sports.
Extremely.
Extremely active. And the setback, it makes it so you can't perform, right? It starts out, you had an injury at your ankle, is that right?
Basically tore all the ligaments off the right side of my ankle.
Wow. And that led to
multiple surgeries. The first surgery, the ligaments were over-shortened, and then when they tried to fix it, there was circulation and nerve damage, and then it just kept spiraling from there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was definitely not the end any of us foresaw, but, life is all about perspective, and there's things that have happened in my life that wouldn't have been possible had that not have happened. Not that I would ever want anybody to go through that, but it definitely has brought some unique possibilities and attributes to my life.
How did you, how long did it take you to get back into playing volleyball again?
I didn't get back into playing volleyball until about 1.5 years after my amputation, so only 2.5, 3 years ago. So I did not play for about 8 years. And that was one of those things that for a while, it was not something I even wanted to look at because it was something that I knew I couldn't do. In fact, I used to have volleyballs and stuff in my room, and I had put them all in my closet because just the fact of looking at them was almost like depressing to me. Like, I can't play this, so why would I want to sit in my room and dwell on it? But I finally got to the point where I actually went when I was getting my prosthetic and close to getting to learn how to stand and stuff again. That kind of became a reality for me again. So I actually went to the Riverplex here in Peoria and was going to watch their co-ed volleyball teams and see about possibly getting involved when I got more on my feet. And just so happened that I met a trainer there who kind of took me by the hand and said, I've never trained an amputee before, but I would be willing to do so. And basically with that, we kind of started training. Then I got asked because of a video that was, going around of me playing volleyball in high school. And the fact that I was an amputee, I got asked to come and try playing with a fellow Team USA player. And then things just kind of went from there. And I ended up getting on the A2 team. So.
Okay, that's great. And now you coach others.
Yes. So I've coached all kinds of sports in the area, even with, my limb loss and everything. Even before I was in my prosthetic, I was coaching softball, and then I also coach volleyball in the area. But I also, one of my prides is recently, in the last 2 years now, I've gotten to be a part of an organization called Nubability as one of their head coaches for volleyball. It's an organization that, like, for instance, this year they brought in over 170 athletes with limb loss from all across the country. Wow. And basically any sport you can think of, they pretty much offer. And we teach these kids how to play mainstream sports with their limb difference, not expecting the sport to adapt to them, but teaching them how to adapt to the sport so they can play with their peers and not have to have specific sports teams for them. And it's such an amazing experience. It's so cool to watch these kids, bloom. They always tell us we inspire them, but it's quite the opposite. Like, we all leave camp and we all say, we're adults learning to get through this situation. They're all kids, and it's just so cool to watch.
Yeah, very good.
So how did you get through being active, not being active, the emotions that you had to deal with?
The first 2 years, I'll be the first to admit, were very rough. It was not an easy transition to make, from being a gymnast, a surfer, softball player, track, volleyball. I did all of these different things to now being stuck on a couch or on a bed watching TV. That's not something I really enjoyed. Never was like a big TV person. So that was definitely a huge adjustment for me to make. But my family, my friends in the area, all that kind of thing. And then actually 2 of my physical therapists were a huge part in my journey of getting me through that. Like, physical therapy can be so mundane sometimes. Like, I always say it's like going to torture. It's not really, but it kind of is. And they made it as, I guess, fun as possible, in the fact of they almost became my friends as well, not just, somebody putting me through these exercises that were sometimes hard to do. And so they've become a huge part of our charity organization, helping others and whatnot as well. But really, it's been the people I've surrounded myself with, and then also my faith. I'm a person of faith, so that's played a huge part in my life. Just all these different things have played key roles, and I just feel like I've been blessed with the people that I have surrounding me, that's what's made me get through it.
So what's your thoughts, or what's your message for somebody that might be going through or starting to go through something like that?
I always go back to one of my favorite quotes, that life is, 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. That's not taking away from what somebody's going through. We're all going through different situations, and we're all going to be thrown, locked doors sometimes, and that's just, or hit walls, and that's just how life, sometimes goes. But it really is a positive attitude can kind of conquer through all. Of course, there's days where that's not always the easiest thing, but it really is a positive view on life, really helps you get through that situation and see the positive in that situation, not just focus on the things you've lost, but also the things that you may gain or could accomplish.
So you talked about your family and friends coming alongside you, especially during those first couple of years. And you do something really special for individuals who are experiencing difficulty in their lives with your sunshine boxes.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So that was kind of a unique thing that popped up after we started our charity, which we actually just started in January. And we were kind of going through things, and one of the things that's had a very big impact on my recovery as well is, there again, one of my physical therapists, every surgery I've had around here, she's come to the hospital and seen me. She always brings me coffee or like a journal and things like that. And it's one of those things that you can be having the worst day, but when somebody shows, you know, like affection like that, or shows you that you're not alone facing this, it really does make a difference and kind of lift your spirits. So we started what's called our Breeze Sunshine Boxes, which are named after my physical therapist. And we send these out to kids or adults going through tough situations, whether that be limb loss, physical disability, even cancers that are causing limb loss and, you know, physical disabilities of any sort. And it's basically just boxes or backpacks, that kind of thing, that have magazines, toys, candy, things like that, that they can enjoy while being, you know, if they're stuck in a hospital bed, enjoy while they're there, or at home, can't do much, you know, something to read, something to do. So we send those and just, you know, make them as fun as possible with rainbow tissue and, you know, all this different stuff when they open a box, and just try to show them that, you know, you're not alone. If you're new to the limb loss community, it's not a community anybody wants to belong to, but at the same time, most people here are very open and will help you through it. So
how do you determine who receives the boxes?
We get I watch, you know, articles and stuff that come out about, you know, situations that have happened in the area. We'll get family members or friends that'll reach out to us on Facebook through our charity page, saying, you know, hey, I'd like to request that maybe this person get one, you know, be considered for getting a sunshine box when the board votes again. Things like that. That's how most people kind of reach out to us and figure out what, then we sort through and figure out how many we can give that certain month. And each sunshine box costs anywhere from $25 to $30 to send. So it's a great way for somebody who, say, can't help us get towards our goal of donating a piece of equipment, but they can help us achieve, you know, helping more people in that way.
Okay, so you accept donations?
Yes.
For the sunshine boxes also?
Yes, and all they have to do is, if they write a check on the memo line, put that it's for sunshine boxes. And if it's not, you know, if they're just making a donation, that goes towards, we're working at Christmas to donate our first piece of equipment, prosthetic or wheelchair, to keep somebody active.
Okay, very good.
Wow. Today we're talking with Ashley Green, and she's with Your Excuse is Invalid. This is in the neighborhood, and we're on Peoria Life, in the neighborhood. We are on
I3 Channel
I3
17.
broadband and WPEO. So we're all over the place. Like and share the information. That would be great. But what's the best way for people to find out more about you?
Our Facebook pages seem to be the most active. That's what people really reach out to us on, and that's Your Excuse is Invalid Motivational Speaking, which is my speaking business page, and then Your Excuse is Invalid NFP, which is our charity page. We're also on Instagram for the young generation. I'm finding that's the way I kind of have to reach out to them. So we're on there for same thing. Excuses Invalid NFP is our name there. And then we have our webpage, which is www.yourexcusesinvalid.org. And then our charity email is excusesinvalid@gmail.com. So.
Yeah, I know you probably don't think of yourself this way, but back to the original statement I made about when if you're really helping others, that's you as a hero. And I think that you're a hero because you're investing in other people. And I think, you know, you could sit there and say, you know, all this that I'm going through, and think about yourself, but you've turned it around, and thought about other people.
Trying to be a productive member of society and give back where I can. So
tell us about your inspirational speak.
It actually kind of happened on a whim. I started speaking at some of my schools I was a part of, growing up. And then it grew from there, and it's all been spreading by word of mouth. It's honestly now I did not like speaking growing up. In fact, my mom always jokes if anybody would have told her I would have been a speaker growing up, she probably wouldn't have believed them. But now it's one of my favorite things to do. I love working with kids and having a kid with limb loss, which there are more in this area than what we even realize. Have them come up to me and tell me how my story has impacted them, and how, they may, we have kids that are being bullied and things like that, and how my story has taught them to ignore that and push through that and not let that situation define them, because I always tell them there is more past high school. Like, life continues past school. Like, it's not always the easiest time, but it does go on. So it's just such a unique experience to get to work with a group of people who can maybe take my story and apply it to their life and see the positives in their life and see the people that are influencing them in their lives and push forward and achieve what they want to achieve, because they can achieve anything they want to. It just may not be in the manner they thought they were going to achieve it. That was one of the biggest things with me. I wanted to play volleyball as an adult in college. That didn't happen for me, but it happened in a different way, and in a way that's almost better, because now I'm playing on a much bigger stage than if I would have just played college. So there's a plan, whether we want to see it or not, and it's just one of those things that everything's going to come together. You just have to believe and put in the work, and things will come together.
Wow. I've got to bet that you've had some really great interaction with people and helping them.
Yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun and very rewarding.
It must be. So what's next?
Just continuing to grow the charity and the speaking, and part of my speaking always goes to fuel our charity too. But I'm going to school at ISU, going after my physical therapy degree, and then also just playing volleyball, which is what I love. I will play that as long as I can, even sometimes when I probably shouldn't, but it's just one of those things I love, and it makes me happy. So just continuing to do that, become a physical therapist, achieve the goals I want to achieve, and have that with my charity work hand in hand, helping people that maybe physical therapy level I can't help. But through our charity, we can help them get that prosthetic that insurance won't cover, because prosthetics are extremely expensive if insurance doesn't cover. They're anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000. I mean, it's just crazy. So, and they don't cover a lot of the active prosthetics. So that's something that we can, through our charity, we're trying to help. We've teamed up with a company that's going to help us, and we can give more people that, quality of life that they want that way.
So we talked about finances. You can take donations. You're glad for those. What other ways can people help you?
If they get on our Facebook page, we also have an Amazon list, which is for our Sunshine Boxes, that has stuff that we've, requested, whether it be toys, candy, things like that. We have kids sometimes that want service hours, adults that just want to help, put together Sunshine Boxes. Our next large fundraising event will be June 6th at Oban and Isaacs. Again, that's where we did it this year. It was fantastic, great turnout. They were awesome to deal with. So we've decided to team up with them again this year and do it there. So that will be another big thing that we hope people start putting on their calendar and come out and have fun. And it's going to be bigger this year, so we'll have more things that are going to be there. It's a bags tournament and silent auction and all that kind of thing. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, very good.
Anything else that you want to share?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Awesome.
Why don't you give us your website one more time?
www.yourexcusesinvalid.org.
Go follow them. I'm sure that you can get to the Facebook and some of those through your website too. Go follow what they're doing. Another great organization that's just starting here in Peoria. How long have you been doing this now?
Motivational speaking I've done now for 2 years. Our charity has been around just since January, and we've already sent 2 kids to camp and raised over $5,000. So we're trucking along, hoping to keep growing.
Great. check us out on Peoria Life. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and all of our channels that we go out on, I3 Broadband Channel 17 and WPEO, and share the information so we can get the word out about the good things that are happening here in Peoria. Have a great day, everybody.
PeoriaLife.com